Peace. This is A and B, African man born on the Culture Speaks, a true hip hop podcast for those who live it. Let's get into it.
I am hip-hop culture, predator the vultures. Rappers getting high, spitting lines, I be sober. Never need an entourage, Pando who holds us down when I come around. Massachusetts soul child, say me in your masu. Knowledge will surpass you. Silly rap crews, walking shady as they move. I am the god man, I be living in the proof. I be teaching all the youth on the elements they use. Turn the television off, all the government is plotting on our sons, and we disrespect our daughters as we living in the slums, and we stay.
Peace. This is A and B, African man born on the Culture Speaks, a true hip hop podcast for those who live it.
Make decisions like a grown man and plan my future up for the unity to take it over. Gather everyone. This is who I am as I'm representing hip hop. I will take a stand while I'm representing hip hop. Gotta be my best as I'm representing hip hop. God in the flesh as I'm representing hip hop. This is who I am as I'm representing hip hop. I will take a stand while I'm representing hip hop. Gotta be my best as I'm representing hip hop. God in the flesh as I'm representing hip hop.
Peace. Welcome back to the Culture Speaks, a true hip hop podcast for those who live it. So you heard me break down briefly about Clarence 13X. You see me go a little bit deep onto Dr. Malachi Z. York because I felt like a lot of his a lot of information that they have public about him is misleading, especially the misnomer that his name is Dwight York. That's not his name. All right. Clarence 13X is a lot of misinformation about him because what he did, they made it seem like he was out of order, and I don't know, but I think that what he did for the world was pretty good, especially when it comes to the 5% Nation. They have a different perspective on things. It's not up to these leaders to make you whole. It's up to you to make yourself whole by way of the guidance of these teachers. All right, and hip hop, especially the consciousness of hip-hop, definitely benefited. I mean, African Bambaataa created the infinity lessons based on a combination of all these things. All right? The infinity lessons and all of the things that he added to the culture. All right? Making it a culture. Zulu Nation back in 1974, the Bronx River meeting, which happened November 12th, where they declared hip-hop a culture. This is documented. All right? So when you have the influences later on, when you talk about Clarence 13X and the 5% Nation, these guys really were Busta Rhymes, Q-Tip, these guys are all heavy influenced by the 5% Nation and their teachings in the 120. Now, where does the Nuwaubian Nation and the Nuwaubian teachings fit into this? Because Nuwaubians, we teach to get into all studies. Dr. York always says in the book, don't believe me, check it out. He says in videos, in speeches, I don't want you to believe me. I don't want you to believe me. Question and confirm everything. Why do you think he says that? Because he doesn't want religious zealots turning this doctrine into a belief system that people take advantage of other people with. So when you look at the influences within rap, especially for my music is pretty much like street Sabian, Nuwaubian music, consciousness that I just put out so people can actually think. I just want you to think. I want you to think about certain stories that I talk about. I want you to think about certain concepts. I want you to think about certain things. I have a song called In Your Face. It's probably my biggest song. It's not out in the billboards, but it's one of my biggest songs. When I perform it, people listen. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm on the Purpose of Hip Hop wave, where I just talk about the story from what my knowledge of what hip hop is and where it came from, and how and where we should go next with it. All right? I have a song called Speak the Truth, where I talk about how they attack us and use our own people against us in our own communities. You know what I'm saying? I have a story called Our Time. You know what I'm saying? Where I talk about the government's influence on our demise. You see what I'm saying? This is going out to you. I talk about the beautiful, glorious essence of our black woman from a man's perspective. You know what I'm saying? And these are on mixtapes. That song is on mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? And I talk about these things for the reason that this is not just a genre of music for me. It is a culture for me. I actually live this. I live hip hop. While you think that I'm just living immature and talking a certain way, no, I speak and live this culture of hip hop. But I'm also in the culture of Wu Sabat as what we know it. Right? And I respect the 5%ers for what they do to this day. The ones that's out there really living it and teaching it and using it for the right reasons. Yes, it is definitely necessary for the 5%ers to be out here. It's definitely necessary for the Nation of Islam to be out here. It is definitely necessary for the Hebrew Israelites to be out here. What we need to do, though, is stop fighting each other. That's the biggest problem that I have with any group that is out there. We fight too goddamn much. What the hell has Hebrew Israelites got to fight about? To fight 5%ers and Nuwapians and RBGs and Moors for? What do you got to fight for? We all in the same fucking boat when it comes to these police. And it's only going to get worse. I know what y'all see is going on in New York. So y'all need to support the music that has this heavy influence. Like Sarok, right? Sarok is one of the most profound lyricists in hip-hop. Forget being a female. Because everybody always says that, yeah, she's the dopest female artist. Nigga, she's a dope fucking artist, period. Fuck the gender shit. And yes, she happens to be a beautiful female. But she's a dope MC. You know what I'm saying? I won't listen to her and be like, yo, she's a dope female rapper, because then that turns things into like, you know what I'm saying? From at least from men, it turns things in, oh, I can get with that. It turns into like a lust thing. She's a dope MC. She has a message to bring in. It needs to be respected. You see what I'm saying? Forget the whole gender shit. Rhapsody, dope MC. You know what I'm saying? We need more Lauryn Hills and Rhapsodies, and we need more Jean Greys. We need, you know what I mean, the Osa the Moors. We need different levels of MCs that are male and female out here to balance out the energy that's given off from the music industry. If you haven't noticed, the music industry is dying because we don't know culture, which is one of the reasons why I'm letting you know about these spiritual influences. Yes, we have Christian rappers and Christian influences. Yeah, Christianity is here, but guess what? You know what I'm saying? We need to acknowledge all forms of our culture in order for this thing to grow, in order for us to use it to build. And the 5% nation and the Nuwapian nation or the Sabian nation is the two of the biggest influences. Hands down, you can see our influences everywhere. From the glasses that Rick Ross wears to the 7s on the chain and hats that people wear. You can go in Lids right now and see hats, fitted hats with the 7 on them, because there's a brother that's in the Nations of Gods and Earth that created that hat. I forgot the name of it. I seen it like last year. It's not the first time I seen it, but I seen Jadakiss wear it. I seen some of my favorite MCs wear it. I seen some of my friends out here wear it. You know what I'm saying? So again, our biggest influence, right? Our biggest influence is the Nations of Gods and Earth, and the 5% nation, and the Nuwapian nation, or otherwise known as the Sabian nation, and the teachings. And they've been so instrumental in adding some form of consciousness to this that we need to support. If you're dealing with artists or DJs that are on that level, that are trying to bring stability to the culture, there you go. Look for those artists. I'm one of them. You hear the music on the audio podcast. That's what I do. But it's not just about me. It's about the world, man. Seek out the lyricists that are speaking the truth, that are not afraid to put their lives and career on the line for your life. All right. So that's all the time I got for y'all, man. I'm happy that y'all are listening. Support it, like, share, and subscribe. The Culture Speaks by Dr. A&B African Man Born. All right, you can check out my website, africanmanborn.com. You can see this on YouTube, mainly. You might see this on Facebook. You might see it on TikTok. I got a little beef with TikTok, but, you know, I'm going to keep beef with them until they take me off of TikTok. All right, and then you might see me on Instagram. All right, but definitely check out the new merch, which is on africanmanborn.com. It's going to be updated every 2 weeks. All right, from the hats, you're going to see some shirts up there, and you're going to see more different products. So definitely click on. You have the Cash App. You have the You have Cash App, you have Venmo, all right, and you have Zelle, I believe. All the links are on there. If you want to get something and I ship it to you, it's going to be shipping as well. All right. So with that being said, my name is A&B, Dr. A&B, African man born on the Culture Speaks, a true hip hop podcast for those who live it. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.